Transformation is a way to change a point, a line, or a figure. A way to change a point, line, or figure. So if you go through a transformation, that means like you're going through a big change. Maybe you're doing a transformation of your physical appearance. Maybe you're going through a transformation of your emotional part. All right. And how here, back here. All right. So we also then have a pre-image and an image. And I'm going to draw that arrow in between there and kind of space those out. So pre-image is the before. And then the image is the after. All right, so before, when we label points, before, it would be like a point. And then when we label points, do we use capital or lowercase letters? Uppercase letters, good. So let's call this point H. That's our before. When we look at a drawing, it would already have point H. When we change the point, because we're going to transform the point, we still want it to be referenced to that H. So we're still going to use this H. But to show that it's changed, we're going to change it drastically. You guys ready for this change? You might miss it. Whoa. It's got a little apostrophe there. Okay, that's like an apostrophe, not a 1. It's that little like tick, that little curve. Okay, and the way that we say this is we say H prime. Okay, if you watch Transformers, it's like Optimus Prime. He's a transformer. That's what it is. All right, we're going to be doing 3 transformations here. We're going to kind of just show the idea of what each of these transformations is. So to start off with, if you have your shape, if you need to cut it down so it's a little smaller, because otherwise you're going to have to go on the next page, that's fine. I might need to. I'm going to cut mine a little smaller so it fits. I'm not going to cut mine smaller because I don't have a scissors. Cool, crushing this. All right. So to start off with, let's talk about a translation. So translation and transformation kind of look the same, so that's a little hard to know sometimes the difference between those two. Okay, and a translation means to move in one direction. All right, so if you want to trace your figure, this is going to be our pre-image. That's what we're starting with. So go ahead and trace whatever figure you have. Hello, Linnea. You sit up front next to Yusra. And then the translation means that we're going to move it in one direction. When we move it, we're just going to take it and move it. We're not going to turn it. We're not going to flip it. We're literally just going to take this exactly how it is, and we're going to move it over. And then trace it again. So we can move it up, we can move it down, we can move it left up and to the right, we can move it left over there. But anytime we have that movement where it's just all of it's just moving over or up, that's a translation. All right, so I'm going to label this one, let's label this A. And that's my pre-image. So if my first figure is A, what's my second figure going to be called? A prime. Good. We put that little apostrophe above it. A prime. Okay, and overall they should look the same. It shouldn't change shape. Mine changed a little bit because I got a little lazy when I was tracing it. Okay, but overall they should look the same. Just moved over. All right, we have two more. The next one is reflection. All right, so when you hear that word reflection, what do you think of?
Like what you look like, or like a reflection or something?
Yeah, like a reflection in a mirror or in the puddle, right? A little Mulan moment. When will my reflection show? No? Okay. So, but when you look at your reflection and you look at it, if I hold up my right hand, let's do a little reflecting here. So if I come up to the front of the classroom, and you all reflect me, if I hold up this hand, which hand are you going to hold up? When it comes to reflection. You can just from there. Okay, ready? If I hold up this hand, which hand do you hold up? Okay, so I'm holding up my right hand. When I am holding up your right hand, what hand is that for you actually? Your left hand, yeah, so it flips. So when it flips over, it's not an exact, it's not that rotation. If I hold up my right hand, it's actually kind of on the left side. So reflection means that we're going to flip the shape over or flip it over a line. So we flip over a line. Yeah, I'm going hard. All right, so again, I'm going to trace that figure. I'm going to draw this line. This line is going to tell me where my mirror is, kind of where it flips over. And now as we take our figure, what we're going to do is we're going to actually take it and flip it around. So right now on my note card, I see I have the blank space. So when I flip it, I now want to see the lined areas. If you had the line to start with, when you flip it, you should have the blank part. Now when I flip it, be really careful. You want to make sure it doesn't like rotate or change. It's just here, and you flip. Okay, I'll show that one more time. So you start with your shape here, and then you're literally going to flip it. So you're going to flip it to the other side. When we have a line of reflection, we want it to flip to the other side of that line. And we'll talk about that a little bit more specifically when we get to reflections later this week. All right, let's call this one, I don't know, J. So J is our pre-image. And then what would be our image? Good, J prime. All right, we have one more we're going to talk about, and that's a rotation. I'm out of space, so I'm going to go to my next page. We have plenty of pages that we have to use this year, so. If you feel like you're going to run out of space, you won't. All right, last one we have is a rotation. Rotation, we use kind of that word a lot in the real world. When we talk about being on rotation, what does that mean? Like if you're going to rotate at your table, what would you do? Yeah, switch, move sides, or maybe take turns. Okay, so if it's like rotating jobs, maybe one time you're the manager, the other person's working at the cash register, and the other person's stocking shelves, and then you rotate. So then the next time you're the manager, the next person is doing the shelves, the next person is doing the register. So it's kind of changing or turning. So rotation really means like turning an object around a point. And this one might take up a little bit more space. Sorry, I should have told you that prior to writing that, but that's okay. You'll figure it out. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to draw my shape. All right, so now as I turn it, we're going to be talking about things going counterclockwise this year. I don't know why. Whoever decided that, I think it's silly. So counterclockwise means the opposite of a clock. So if I think of a clock, normally noon is up here, and that goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. The numbers usually go to the right. So when we turn, we're actually going to turn to the left. So I'm going to show that again. I'm here, and then we're going to turn to the left. Okay, so we're up here, and then I just turn to the left. So when you turn it, you want it to like, that part that's in the middle stays and near the middle, the closest to the middle there. The part furthest away stays furthest away. It's kind of like we're creating that circle. And eventually it would make that full circle around and rotate back to the top. So that's our 90-degree rotation. We're going to talk about 180 and a 270, and then all the way around would be how many degrees? What would be a complete circle? 360, yeah, you guys got it. All right, so I started here. So this is my original, this is my pre-image. Okay, and my pre-image, what should we name it this time? Anyone got a favorite letter? S. Okay, so this is S. And then this one is S prime. Beautiful. Crushed it. You guys are amazing. All right, so there is an Alex assignment today.